Hello there, this is Dr. Ramon, and in this video I would like to address a couple of questions that has been asked more commonly now that we're at the stage where students are trying to prepare their video presentations for their science fair project. I know this is something new that we're doing this year due to science fair competition becoming or transforming to become an online or a virtual competition. And so I will be proposing three and showing you three different ways to record your narrated PowerPoint presentation. And I'll do this in three stages. I'll also do a presentation on the templates that you can use depending on the type of project that you're doing, whether it's a science engineering or a math or computer science project. So in this video, I'm going to go over an application called OBS, which is what you see in the screen right now. And I'll go over the template for science type of project. So let me go ahead and introduce you to OBS. OBS is short for Open Broadcaster Software, and OBS is actually an open source program. So it's actually free, and that's what I like about it. Despite being free, it's actually very, very powerful, and you can use it for Windows, Mac, and Linux. As you can see right now, I'm using a Mac, and so I downloaded the program. I installed it. I'm not gonna go into the details of the actual use of OBS, but I'm just introducing this program to you and some of the features that I'm gonna be using. Okay, so once you've installed the program, you're gonna have this screen, and you can actually add sources here of what you would like to record. I'm recording right now my whole display so that I can shift between windows and I can record them continuously. In addition to that, I added a video capture device like the webcam that I'm using right now, and that introduces a small window that I can actually resize. Okay, and I can also move around my display window just in case I'm covering something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this on the side. I'm using a laptop right now that's attached to an extended or external monitor, and that works well because I can use two windows, so I'm seeing what you are eventually gonna end up seeing um, on your screen, and that would be this display window over here. Okay, this is what your eventually final outcome is. So if I move this on the side, then I'm actually seeing the finished product on one window, but I'm working on this window, okay, that I'm looking at right now. So right now you're seeing OBS with my small window with my face showing. And so I'll move my face towards the top. Okay, so I'll place it in the corner like that, so that I can do the presentation. Now, this is what OBS is. Now, the details of this, I can go over it later on if you are interested in using it. But let me move on to science template. Now, if you're going to be doing a presentation on a science project, these are the components that you need to have in your presentation, and these are the required ones. Anything beyond this is extra. And so I'm going to go over all the slides that are required in a bit of detail, and if you still have any questions later on, you can certainly ask. So you should have a title page with the Scienteer project ID. You should have the project title there, the proponents or the names of the researchers, the students. If you're a team, then you will have multiple lines there. Of course, you need to have your school there, including the city, state, and the country, and this is in preparation for competition later on. okay, at the regional and the national level. Okay. Now, the first slide should be an introduction, and this is an introduction to your research. What does this contain? This contains your rationale for your project. You have to explain why your research is relevant, and by doing that entails that you provide a bit of review of your literature. What gave you the idea of doing the project? What is your main um, question that you want to answer, and what is your hypothesis? Okay, so what are you trying to find out, and what is your proposed solution or answer to that question? That would be your hypothesis. Okay, so that would set up your whole project. The second slide, or basically the third slide after the title page and the introduction, would be your methods or methodology. This would be where your procedure comes into play. You should explain your methods, what is the basis for it. Do not give me a detailed procedure, step-by-step procedure. This is not where you just copy and paste whatever your procedure is in your research plan. Instead, it would be great for you to actually just show an overview in the format of like a flow chart, for example. You need to remember that this is a PowerPoint presentation, so visuals is more important than text. Right now, I'm using a lot of text because I'm trying to explain to you in detail what needs to be in each of this. So this is not an example, this is just going through a listing of what are the different parts. Okay, so please make sure that you know what the difference between the two are. Now, you do not need to list down all your materials here. Okay, next is the results. What's important about the results is that you present it as a treated data. Do not present your raw data. You have to transform it into charts and concise tables. Do not show long tables, and every chart or every table that you have should have a small caption in it so that it can stand alone, that you can that anyone who sees it, even if they're not hearing you, they can be able to read the caption and be able to understand what the chart is all about. Okay? Now, you also need to present your statistical analysis if, in case you require a lot of those, like averaging, what are the margins of error, error bars, and so on. And then you do a discussion of your results. This is where you start analyzing your data, point out pertinent information on the data and results. And by the way, your data and results, if your project is a bit large and you have multiple variables, then it's okay for you to have multiple slides for that. You're not limited to one slide and then you're trying to cram everything in it. Same for discussion. But the important thing about the discussion is that you only mention salient points. Do not use sentences. In fact, it is always best to actually use bulleted points. When you're interpreting your data, make sure that you also mention your basis for the interpretation. Okay, if you're drawing conclusions somewhere, um, you need to make sure that you cite what the basis of that is. All right. So you also discuss your sources of errors, what could be possible potential things that you can improve in the future if you did not, if in case you did not uh, get to redo those errors. Okay, and then you just state your conclusion. This is where you basically round everything up, go back to the hypothesis and state how your research was able to answer the hypothesis in one way or another. Okay, and then cite some possible applications of it and extension research that you can do if you're taking this to another level. And then the last one is the references. This should definitely just be one page. Do not place too much emphasis on this, but it does need to be here because you need to cite where you got your information from, and it needs to be in proper format, either MLA or APA format. Pretty much what you have in your research plan is gonna just be transferred here. Okay, so that's an overview of the science template. In the next video, I'm gonna be showing you how to use Zoom, and I'll show you an engineering template.